Nilkanth was sitting quietly in a corner of the cafe, deeply engrossed in a book titled The Richest Man in Babylon by George S. Clason when Nand arrived. As he walked towards the table, Nand was surprised by what he saw. In all the time he had known Nilkanth, he had never seen him reading a book. He was accustomed to seeing him study financial magazines, newspapers, company annual reports, and market research reports. A book in Nilkanth's hands was something completely unexpected. Curious, Nand pulled out a chair and sat down. "Sir, this is the first time I've seen you reading a book," he said with a smile. "I always thought you only read financial reports and business newspapers." Nilkanth looked up, smiled warmly, and closed the book. "That's true," he replied. "But some books teach lessons that remain relevant for generations. This is one of them." Just then, the waiter arrived with 2 steaming cups of coffee that Nilkanth had already ordered. As the aroma of fresh coffee filled the air, Nilkanth took a sip and gently placed the book on the table. "Nand," he began. "This book may have been written nearly 100 years ago, but the principles it teaches about money, wealth creation, saving, and investing are timeless. In fact, many of the financial concepts we discuss today have their roots in the wisdom shared in this book." Nand leaned forward with interest. "Really, sir? A 100-year-old book can still teach us about money?" Nilkanth nodded. "Absolutely. Let me tell you why The Richest Man in Babylon has inspired millions of people around the world." Nilkanth added, "The Richest Man in Babylon teaches timeless principles of building wealth through saving consistently, living below your means, and making your money work for you." Nilkanth then pointed out to 2 old persons sitting in the cafe on the separate table and introduced them as Thur, a wealthy person, and Shaukin, poor person, and suggest how their past decision make their today's realty. Nilkanth added, "Both of them have worked hard for years. Both of them are skilled at his profession. They earn money regularly. Yet one has become successful, and other is having difficulty in meeting both ends meet. Many people face the same situation as Shaukin has faced. They have jobs, they earn salaries, they work long hours, yet they struggle to build wealth." Nilkanth added, 20 years ago, both Steer and Shaukin had similar opportunities. The difference was that Steer saved and invested consistently, while Shaukin spent lavishly and chased instant gratification. Today they are living the consequences of those choices." Nilkanth stated that, "The day you stop asking how can I earn more and start asking why am I still not wealthy is the day your financial journey truly begins. Wealth does not come simply because you work hard and wait. Hard work creates income, but financial wisdom creates wealth. The biggest gap between the rich and the poor is not income, it's understanding how money works." He explained that hard work without financial knowledge can trap a person in the same cycle year after year. Your dreams are limited not by your income, but by your understanding of money. Working hard can earn you a living. Learning how money works can earn you a fortune. Nilkanth emphasized that a man's wealth is not in the purse he carries. The rich Perosian has a continuous stream of income that keeps refilling his purse. Rich people do not depend only on money they already have. They build systems that continuously generate more money, creating a stream of income that continues to flow, even when you are not working. Success leaves clues. If you want wealth, learn from people who have already built wealth. Most people spend years learning their profession, their trade, their technical skills, but very few spend time learning, saving, investing, asset building, wealth creation. The book argues that wealth is not a gift. Wealth is a skill, and every skill can be learned. Knowledge changes lives only when action follows. Success grows faster when you surround yourself with people who are also trying to improve themselves. The first step toward wealth is deciding to learn from people who have already built it, and then taking action on that knowledge. Wealth is not determined only by intelligence, education, or hard work. Your future wealth is determined less by what you earn, and more by what you do with what you earn. The gap between the rich and the poor is often created not by opportunity, but by financial habits and decisions. People who fail to become wealthy either do not know the laws of wealth building, or do not follow them consistently. Wealth is built through knowledge and discipline, not luck. If a person does not understand money, even a fortune can disappear. Luck may give you money once. Financial wisdom helps you keep it, grow it, and pass it on for generations. Wealth could provide many opportunities and experiences. A comfortable and beautiful home, the ability to travel, the ability to enjoy good food and finer things, the ability to support noble causes, the freedom to live life on his own terms. Wealth is a tool that expands a person's choices and opportunities. All men have time in abundance. People often underestimate how much can be achieved through years of consistent effort. Start learning early, because time is one of the greatest wealth-building tools. There are two kinds of learning: learning facts and knowledge, and learning how to discover things we do not know. One good question can be worth more than years of hard work. Knowledge lasts much longer than money. Wealth is like a tree. The first rupee you save is the seed. If you never plant the seed, no tree grows. The sooner you start, the larger the tree becomes. Never seek investment advice from people who are not qualified in that field. Don't spend your investment earnings too early. Reinvest them. The rich don't eat the seeds of future wealth. Live on less than you earn. Seek advice from experts. Make money work for you. Opportunities often arrive after you have prepared yourself for them. Wealth follows responsibility. Opportunity is a haughty goddess who wastes no time with those who are unprepared. Luck often comes to people who have already prepared themselves for success. Would you call a fisherman lucky after he spent years learning where the fish swim? Creating wealth requires willpower. Willpower is not doing something heroic, completing the task you promised yourself you would complete. Self-confidence comes from keeping promises to yourself. When he makes a big commitment, he knows he can rely on himself. Wealth grows when people create value. Wealth expands when people create useful things, businesses, services, and opportunities. True wealth is creating a balanced life, where your money protects you, supports your family, grows for the future, and still allows you to enjoy the present. No one could fill that place until he had worked out his own understanding. Success cannot be borrowed. Understanding cannot be borrowed. Wealth cannot be permanently inherited without wisdom. Prosperity depends on people having the ability to earn, save, and circulate money. One may not condemn a man for succeeding because he knows how. The greatest wealth is the knowledge of how to acquire, keep, and grow gold. Teaching financial knowledge creates more prosperity than simply distributing money. Don't teach what you haven't practiced.